All right, if you're wondering why I'm all dressed up, it's because I was going to do another episode talking about the general market. This, when you see it, will be Tuesday, March 11th. I'm recording it on Monday the 10th, and on Sunday, I had done an episode real quick because the market was going down quite a bit. It seemed to be red everywhere, and I talked about whether or not I thought we were in altcoin season and why I didn't think we were yet. And I believe it's upcoming, and I want to talk about three things. We're going to talk about money supply, whether or not we're in alt season, the indicator I like to watch, and then also about total market, the market cap and how it works. I'm Brian. I do this 6 days a week. I always say I'm a big dumb animal. Informational purposes only. I basically tell you what I do, talk about tips, tools, coin analysis. Please do hit the like button. It helps me tremendously. And I've got a school community down below if you want courses on how to do everything related to crypto. Okay. You may have seen this. There was an explosion of these. I've talked about money supply before, but I've talked about it just in general, saying, hey, global money supply, we want that to go up. It's really going to help push this market. It pushes all risk on assets, anything that's risky. But I happened to notice today, Monday, well, someone left a comment and said, hey, market's still tanking. Can you do another video update? And I thought, okay. While I was on X.com, for whatever reason, a lot of people posted about global money supply today. So if you look here, let's see, the first one, I got a couple of them to pull up. This gentleman was talking about global liquidity and the S&P 500. Then there were a couple about M2, global liquidity, again, money supply, and its correlation to Bitcoin. That individual, another one, this individual, interesting chart, and yet another one. Global M2 is a total money supply worldwide, including cash, checking, deposits, savings, and money market funds. Basically, it's cash that you can get your hands on really quickly. Not like a gold bar would not be considered global M2 because you have to go through a transaction to then turn it into cash. So it's just not what they would consider to be liquid. Liquid meaning, really fast. And this individual was talking about how they believe, and this is true, it seems someone figured it out, I don't know who, not me, that there was a 70-day lag between money supply, global money supply, and the Bitcoin price, which is divided by 7. It's a 10-week lag. So let's take a look at that. I just put it onto, this is Bitcoin. You can use indicators. I use two different M2 indicators. This one, there's a couple of them. This one will overlay it, whereas you can use it as an indicator that shows up on the bottom. But as you overlay it, you can see the red and green here is Bitcoin, and the blue line is money supply. Now, I use it as not as a one-to-one correlation, but to show which way I believe the market would be moving. Is it going to be moving down over time or up over time? Money supply going down, contracting, typically risk on assets will go down in value. Money supply going up, it's growing, typically risk on assets will go up. And then he said there was a 10-week lag, so you can change the indicator, and it's got a 10-week delay here. So in other words, this is the last week of Bitcoin prices, and this is showing current M2, but there's a 10-week delay here. So as you can see, if you look at some of these, sideways movements in the M2, and then the price having a sideways movement. And by the way, if you just move your mouse up and down, you can actually move the chart. It doesn't need to overlay on top. You can look at it this way if it's easier for you. I just like to see real quick. Hey, look, correlation. Okay. Then as M2, for example, here started to skyrocket, it had already moved up sideways, and then it really took off. Most recently, this was in September of 24, when M2, look at that, if I move it down, look at that blue line rocketing up, and then look at the price of Bitcoin rocketing up from 55,000 to 105,000 during that time. Well, what's happened since then? Well, since then, as you can see, we've gone sideways, all while M2 was coming down, down, down. Look how much it's come down. And that red is today. This blue line, I just tagged the bottom of the M2. That's the week of March 24th. So you can see here that as money supply has tanked, the price of Bitcoin has tanked, and it may continue to go lower for another week or two, according to this. And then theoretically, either the week of the 24th, or I guess it would be the first week of April, because of the money supply, if there is a lag effect, which I believe there is, as you can see here, then Bitcoin should start moving up. What will be interesting in the next 2 weeks is to see where this money supply goes. Because of a lot of things going on in the world, other countries putting money into circulation, because the dollar's losing value for various reasons, the U.S. needs to basically refinance security, treasuries and whatnot. So I believe this M2 will continue to climb. So if that's the case, then we might be in for another week or two of prices being down, Bitcoin and others. How much? I don't know. Today, I jumped in on Ethereum. I got some below 2,000 in the 1900 range, and then it went below 1900. I got an 1850 range. I'm a believer that Ethereum will continue to do well this cycle. We'll talk about total market cap in a second, but if you look at this chart, good grief, hello. See that orange line? That's up around 4,008. I think it was 4,800 and something. I've got it on here somewhere. And that was the last peak, and it's below 2,000. I think this is an easy trade. I wouldn't be surprised if it does another 50% here in the next couple weeks. All right, so a lot of these altcoins, as you know, may continue to go down for a bit. So that's the first thing is, I think that's good news. We want to see the money supply moving up, which it has been. So that is a precursor to the risk on assets being able to gain momentum, assuming other things in the market or news don't change. Second thing, like I talked about, you want to see Bitcoin dominance in the market start to go down, and that's usually indicated by these two in the Pi cycle indicator crossing, and they haven't yet. So that would be the second thing before I believe the altcoin season will start moving. So if Bitcoin's first, and that's not for 2 or 3 weeks, then it could be another 3-4 weeks after that, or more or less, before altcoins really start to take off, and we want to see that come down. So that was the second thing. We want to see that Bitcoin dominance starts to go down, because you can see just on coin market cap, they say whether or not we're in altcoin season, and they do it based on the indicator. Basically says, yes, we're in altcoin season up here if out of the top 100 coins, 75% of them are doing better than Bitcoin. That makes sense. Bitcoin's right here. As you can see, a handful have done better than Bitcoin percentage-wise over the last 90 days. But look at all the ones that haven't. Okay, so we're nowhere near 75% beating Bitcoin. It's like maybe 25%. All right, last thing I want to talk about. This is very, very important. This is the total market cap, currently at 2.5 trillion. It was just recently, at the end of 24 in December, 3.6 trillion. Okay, 2.5, 3.6, let's just call it $1 trillion. So you might be thinking, oh my goodness, just to get back to December, which was only good for some of my altcoins, that's $1 trillion needs to be injected into the market? No, that's not how it works. As you know, there's market cap, there's fully diluted value. This is market cap total of all crypto. Okay, and you get that by taking the price of a crypto if Bitcoin's at 80,000, and then you multiply it by whatever's in circulation, 18 million, whatever the number is. You multiply those two, and that's the market cap. So the market cap of a crypto rises, obviously, when the price rises or the number of coins, more coins come out. But let's just say the number of coins in the next couple of weeks stay even, no more releases or not many. So if the coins are staying pretty much static, but the price goes up of a crypto, then you're multiplying the number of coins times the price, and the total market cap goes up. The reason you don't need $1 trillion is because it doesn't take a lot of money to move a particular crypto's price. So if you've got a $5 billion crypto and it's at $1 and you're hoping it goes to $2, it doesn't necessarily have to hit 10 billion. It will for the math, but you don't need another 5 billion in investment. You got a 5 billion crypto and you're thinking, ooh, we need 5 more billion to get to a 10 billion market cap invested. No, you just need the price to rise, and prices can rise pretty quick. Supply and demand. A lot of people want it. The price shoots up with a small amount of capital, yet the market cap goes up tremendously because you've got a much higher price times circulating coins. So I hope that makes sense. Point is, to get from 2.5 trillion to 3.5 trillion is not $1 trillion. It could be a fairly insignificant amount compared to $1 trillion to actually drive prices back up. So I think we can hit this 3 trillion, which was the top of last market, and blast through to 3.5 no problem. Probably just pretty much on the price of Bitcoin alone, getting well over $100,000, and then some altcoins moving after that. That was it for today. Again, I believe we've got a bull cycle coming up, and that's how I'm acting. I bought Ethereum today, as I said, and I bought some more Hedera today. Now, why would I buy more Hedera? If you've been watching, you know I got it at a much cheaper price, and I've got a lot of it. It's my biggest holding. The reason I keep buying Hedera is because I do believe this is still a great price, but also I like other projects on Hedera, many of them. Saucer Swap I hold. I'm always trying to be transparent what I got. Bonzo, which is their lending and borrowing platform, which pretty much just had a token generation event like a week or two ago. What's the other one? Tune.fm recently, because Snoop Dogg put some music on there. I've got videos about that and others. So that's why, if you're wondering why do you keep buying Hedera, well, I keep buying Hedera because I usually swap it now into other projects as the price came down. Case in point, Bonzo 0.025, it was just a couple days ago, it was 0.035. Significant difference in price and the amount of Bonzo I can now pick up. That was it for today. That's what I wanted to point out, just those three things. Hope that was helpful. It lets you know what I'm doing. You do whatever fits you. Have a great day. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. Thanks for watching.